We have a great show in store for you today. I cannot wait to introduce you to everyone. So starting really with our special guest who is making her first debut here at Prayer Talk, Miss Linda L. Castellano.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm a lot better now.
I know that was trying.
That was you know, like they say, the devil is a liar.
He's a liar. Yes.
He's not gonna get anywhere.
That's right.
But everyone, thank you so much for welcoming. Help me welcome Miss Castellano. This is her debut as Prayer Talk, and we are so happy that she decided to join us as I asked her to do so. And she's right here going to be really sharing her wonderful experience with all of us. We are so grateful that she has joined us. Her program is right off of our YouTube channel, so you could definitely find the Castellano Marriage Ministry program right there with her. And please, I encourage you to patronize her when you get there. And the same goes with another young lady who I'm going to introduce you now, Miss Dr. Tadea Carey. Please help me welcome her back as a wonderful champion. She has been with us for the whole entire time we started from the beginning. She is now have started a program of her own called Tade Talks. And Tade Talks is live on also on YouTube. And she is a new author of No, Not My Child book that she started this year. And it's been going really wonderful. And so without further ado, please help me welcome Ms. Tade Akera, Dr. Tade Akera, who also has her own show.
Welcome.
Welcome, please. Welcome. So what we have in store for you today is the wonderful opportunity to learn about our families and the different issues we have in relationships, marriages. But more importantly, we want to do this show so that everyone can heal, can learn how to manage different issues as they occur or come to us. And we are here to make sure that everyone can tap in. Even after the show, they can, write us an email and be able to share things with us and ask questions even afterwards, and also reach out to our guest panelists. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start these wonderful two guest panelists while we wait for the special guests to also to join them. Starting with Miss Castellano, who has married, Linda, you've been married for at least 30 plus years, right?
Yeah, 30 years, and on the 27th, it'll be 30 years. But
wow.
Together 32.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
That's awesome. So you got a lot in store for us.
Well, I hope so after 30 years.
That's how I like to see it. That's awesome. So, but with your marriage experience, 30 is not 3 months, nor is it like, 30 days. 30 is a huge, lots of experiences and, all the issues, ups and downs. We would love to know how you handle them. But let me start by asking you, how would you, in your opinion, describe marriage?
Oh, marriage as I am today and know it, and I didn't know this going into it. I went into it at such a young age, in my early 20s. I didn't know, but really marriage is about serving. it's a service. It's about serving. It's really about giving and caring for another person equal and even sometimes above yourself, just to, it's all about serving. So I always say this, especially now at this point, I always say that I'm so glad me and my husband, we fought for us, over all these years, that we didn't give up. And it was opportunities to give up. Many.
Of course.
It was things that was coming against us just initially. If anybody ever watched my show, with our families, we have different races and we had challenges that way. And then going into, just trying to make a life with each other, the differences of that. But marriage is all about serving. Once I really fully understood that and shared that thought with him, and we're both in Christ, you know what I mean? So, but people don't really tell you really the work of it, the work of surrender, the work of working together all the time, and, not just talking, but listening, and not just waiting for somebody to be quiet so you can say what you have to say, but to actually listen to them and to hear their point, and, humble yourself to listen. So we had all those challenges, but I'm so glad, very, very glad, that we held on to get to this period of our marriage. That's because awesome. This period is not perfect, but it's so much, it's rewarding. That's what I'm trying to say. This period is rewarding. Because sometimes marriage feels like work. It just feels like,
right. So it's kind of worth it, all those years that you talk to yourself,
yes.
that, it's not worth it. Just, you spent 15 years. And, the broken heart for me is that I hear families, and I think once you finish getting the kids going and it's time for you to enjoy, for some reason, that's just the time that the Satan want to takes kind of, I call it like his test, to really test both partners and see where you are, and if you really mean to be together. I think it's just like a shake-up,
Then I think what happens is that if you have been so occupied with your job and your children and not making time to stay connected during the whole marriage, when all that stuff settles down, you don't even know the person you're with. So it's really important. Like, we have a date night that we do every week. It's important to stay connected. Even at first, it was started out with going to fancy restaurants because I wanted to be fancy. But then we ran out of money. And so we had to live within our means, because that's sort of our motto.
Exactly.
To live within our means.
You're trying different things. That's the beautiful thing about it.
So we had to go all the way. I'm sorry, I just want to say this. We had to go all the way down to like fast food restaurants just to sit in the car.
Just to make sure you keep up the promise.
So
that's what
so
it
we
takes.
Keep together. So that's
because you both are like this. You just say, no matter what it is, that's what we call going through the thick and thin,
That's it. Mm-hmm.
Let me bring in Dr. Akira, who is also have been married for a long time as well. What in your opinion, Dr. Akira, is marriage is all about?
Yeah, thank you, Bibi. We've also been together about 31 years, so I'm not even going to count how long we've been married. So about 20 something odd years, but we've been together 31 years, because after that we did our, the traditional, and then we finally decided, okay, let's make it official when we came here to this country. But that's by the way. So marriage to me is, I love what Miss Linda said about serving, and I've never thought about it that way. So I would love if you can talk more about it, when you say something again. But to me, marriage is about friendship, because that's how my husband and I started. We were friends, and so it's about friendship, it's about faith. We knew that we both, loved the Lord. We both grew in the Lord together. Marriage is about family. We talked about, how many children we wanted to have, and we talked it all out before we even, took the step when we first started. And both of us came from backgrounds that were not very favorable, in the sense that my parents were separated, his parents were separated. He came from a polygamous family. Mine wasn't polygamous, but it could have been polygamous, because,
right.
Daddy was out there having, it was a rolling stone, like they call them. So to me, marriage is about friendship, family, faith, and most of all, having fun, just having fun with your friend. And I think just having that promise from the beginning that no matter what happens, come thick or thin, we were going to stick it out together. The D word was never going to be brought up, and I'm not saying it hasn't been brought up, but we promised ourselves, that it would never be brought up. And I think we have lived up to that promise till now. God has seen us through. It's been a lot of highs and lows, but God has kept us together. So to me, marriage, like I said, is about friendship, faith, fun,
Right.
and family. That's
beautiful.
I'll leave it at that for now.
That's beautiful. Well, I have to share with everyone, Tadea Carey and her husband have come so well together that now they've lived out that marriage. I have to say it's a myth, but I don't know how truthful it is, where we are so much together, do things so well together, then people start considering you as a, brother and sister, or that you look alike to each other.
Yeah.
They've gotten that on one of our shows, but that's beautiful. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. And then with respect to what we also have on board here, when do you think that it's a big issue to really, with a lot of us being different nowadays, when do you think a woman needs to be contributing without the breadwinner factor or statement being taken away from the manhood that we know, is set for men? In other words, is breadwinner just really for men? And as much as all of us are into professional works and doing well and contributing, how do we miss the line and not cross it so that we're not switching roles as well?
I can speak to that.
Yes.
I was the breadwinner probably for, was it 20 years? Almost 20 years. Just because of the profession that I'm in, in banking. And I was in that role, and for a while it was a little bit challenging after, I began to climb the corporate ladder.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband, he was also in a professional role, but not as well compensated, put it that way. And so, when bonuses and things come around, we had to come to an understanding of what happens and comes to me is ours. We were united in every way, financially, everything, and to see it as a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
And since that time, however, things shifted. They sent my job to India, and I had to start my career over. And I'm in another profession right now, and now he's the breadwinner. And so it balanced its way out. And initially it felt weird to me because I had been the breadwinner for so long. So it went in reverse. But he has always been such the head of our house. And we always, the level of respect was there no matter who made the money. And even at one point in time, he stayed home for a year with the children. It worked out better for our family. And I think it's independent. You have to think of your situation and work it best for you, minus perhaps what other people would think or what is traditional. Right. And it worked very well for our family with saving us on childcare and giving him the opportunity to spend time with the kids. And it was only a year, but it was a good year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's part of what I really want to hear, although we're a breadwinner. But let me bring in Dr. Carey before I even interject on that. What do you think about that, Dr. Carey?
I think the word breadwinner it's subjective. It depends, or it's also when you put it in perspective, in what context. So like Miss Linda said, is it the woman that's making more money or the man that's making more money at that point in time? So breadwinner could be either the woman or the man. And like I said again, you have to come to that agreement, together, that our money is our money, right. Not that my money is my money and your money is our money. So, and I think that's where sometimes the problem comes in when,
yes,
so the family has to make a decision that whatever happens, you make a decision. Like I also, when my kids were younger, some of you know that, when I had my middle son, I had to stay home for a couple of years because I had a child with special needs that needed me. So we made that decision. I needed to stay home, and I did. And I didn't look at myself as not earning. What I did at that time was I started to do business that I could do from home. So as a woman, you also want to contribute. You want to have, you want to bring something of worth to the table. If you can't, your husband should understand. Not everybody is business prone. Not everybody, is able to bring money to the table. And it doesn't even have to be all the time about money. A woman that stays home, or even a man that stays home, is okay. Sorry, I think I was on mute for a little bit. So, like I was saying, that if being a breadwinner doesn't have to do about money all the time. It depends on what you're bringing to the table. So a woman that's staying home, or a man that's staying home, because a lot of men also stay home at some point, if, just depending on what the family agrees on. So you can be the one cleaning, cooking, taking care of the kids, whoever is doing it. It doesn't really matter whether it's the man or the woman. So when we talk about this, the role of a woman or the role of a man, we have stay-at-home dads now who are also doing, and the woman has the money, and the purse is a common purse. Everybody, has access to the finances. So I think financial is just one of the aspects of being a breadwinner, because when we talk about breadwinner, we think about financial alone, but then we also have this other person that's staying home, that's doing a lot of work, even I think more work than the person.
More work.
More work. So we have to start having that mind shift, in the sense that it's not about who's bringing in the money. Yes, you're bringing in the money, but I'm the one at home doing all the work, doing the school runs, doing the soccer, going, taking the kids to all the programs. So that person is also, whether it's the husband or the wife, that person is also a breadwinner, in their own right.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, because that's doing all of that is major contribution.
It's a huge contribution,
Yes, it brings stability in the family.
Yeah.
So please don't tell women that stay at home, or dads that stay at home, like, oh, you just at home doing nothing. No. There's no such thing as nothing. Staying at home doing nothing. I have no.
Anyone who makes that statement never stayed home.
Thank you. That's what I'm like, you try it for a month and see how it goes.
I actually felt like staying at home is more work.
I equated it as like a time and a half, really. That's to me how it felt.
Miss Linda, I think staying at home is actually more work.
Be a wife,
it is more work.
Still gotta be a mom, still gotta be a sister and a friend, all of that. And yet you don't have time for yourself some days, you know? But let me go ahead and bring in one of our other guests. Thank you so much, Dr. Akere and Miss Linda, for starting us off really well. The next person I'll bring in for you is Apostle Dr. Ambe Valentine Ngwa, who's currently serves as a consultant for Prime Hour Media TV that he has, and he's streamed off of Facebook. And he's also the founder of the Living Word of Prophecy Tabernacle Worldwide, with headquarters in Cameroon, where he's logging in from. And for most of you, if you don't know where Cameroon is, it's all the way in West Africa. Okay. Apostle Ngwa is also the Diaspora African Ambassador to the prestigious USA-based Diaspora African Leadership Organization. And he's also the Director of Arbitration and Complaints at the Kwame Nkrumah Ideological Institute in Ghana. Please help me welcome for his debut on the Prayer Talk, Apostle Dr. Ambe Valentine Ngwa.
Hello.
Hi. Good evening to everybody. I'm so excited to be here tonight. I'm very happy to be here tonight. Thank you, Madam Lebechi. Thank you, all the guests. It's a privilege to be here, and I'm so excited meeting very brilliant minds and elderly persons like you too.
Thank you so much for joining us. Yes.
Thank you.
This long-awaited day has finally reached.
I know, right? From the time I reached out to you. Let me go ahead and really dive in quickly, just from where we stopped off of. Tell us, in your opinion, what exactly would you say are the God-given roles in marriage?
Yeah, God-given role in marriage is very complex, and that's the reason why most homes experience a lot of challenges today. And as a consultant and a marriage counselor, we've been there for some years now. I think counseling couples and organizing seminars and conferences, we've been able to deal with this topic extensively. The subject is we are misinterpreting the identity of a woman and a wife. There is the woman that God created before becoming a wife. Inherent in every woman are three different qualities. She is a priest, she is a wife, she is a mother. And if we don't understand these different responsibilities, we'll be able to categorize a woman in a particular domain where her strength is. She is a mother. She is a wife to her husband, a mother to her children, and also a priest, a co-priest to the family. These God-given roles, sometimes they fluctuate based on individuals and certain marriages. You cannot take a particular marriage as a role model to all other marriages because people have different agreements as far as their homes are concerned. If we want to compare and contrast two different marriages, it may look like they are contradictory because it falls back to the personal modus operandi on each family. There are responsibilities that a man is supposed to take in a family, but in some families, women take that responsibility and it goes well with the people. But to give a clarity on the subject, on the roles of women and men, I think we're going to give a generic knowledge about it so that everyone goes back home knowing the role of a woman, but it can switch with the circumstances prevailing. Let's go first to the woman. You see, the subject of the woman is a very complex subject, and that is the reason why some cultures have reduced women as second-class citizens. Some cultures equally have reduced women as slaves. You know, cultural backgrounds equally play extensively to the role of women in societies. There is this common adage in Africa we have in our birth certificate, they will put a woman's profession, housewife. Which is very, very funny. Yeah. I grew up, my mother's profession in my birth certificate was housewife. And only for me to grow up to understand that there is no job called housewife. That woman is something first before you got married to her. Okay, what of a woman who did not get married? Doesn't it have something to do? And it is a profession in Africa called housewife. And because of that, women's mind have been programmed to think that their responsibility is just to stay back home, give birth to children, feed the children. Meanwhile, there are God-given abilities, potentials deposited in them to help humanity. I've always said that your potential first is not to make money, but to serve humanity. And that's the more reason why we should allow women express the abilities and the potentials in them so they can serve humanity better. A man should not marry a woman and then cage her potential in the name of housewife. Housewife isn't a profession, and not everybody is called to be a housewife. So that's a serious challenge. We must reprogram the minds of men when it comes to treating women. Yes. Now the ability, yes. Am I too fast?
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead, sir.
No.
Yeah. So what is the role of a woman in a family? Normally, if you go to check the scriptures, you discover that Bible calls her helpmate. Helpmate. If I have to ask Madame Lebechi to help me, then she must be as strong as I am to help me. Help me does not mean a weaker vessel or a lesser person or a disadvantaged person. If I'm asking you to help me carry a bag and put on my head, then definitely you must be as strong as I am. So that woman is as strong as that man in that house. That woman can equally do what the man can do. The only thing we have to do is to define our respective responsibilities based on seasons. In a house where the woman is the one that has gotten the opportunity to get a job for a particular moment and the man doesn't have the opportunity, I think at that particular moment, we'll call the woman for that period because it's periodical. We don't know how things fluctuate. Challenges come in houses, in homes where sometimes the man is unable to provide. Who are you going to call breadwinner at that time? A man who doesn't work? A man who cannot provide? So breadwinner is not the title of a gender. Breadwinner is a circumstance prevailing in a house.
That's interesting.
It's not the title of it's not the title of a gender, but the impression we have had is that breadwinner is a male factor. It isn't a male factor. A breadwinner is somebody who has the ability to make provision at the moment in time. What if the man loses his job or the woman loses a job? Who is the breadwinner at that time? So me, I don't want to put breadwinner based on gender. I want to put breadwinner based on the prevailing circumstances and who can make provisions at the time being. And that has to do with mutual understanding and respect for people's position. Because a man is not an authority because he provides. A man is an authority because he's ordained in that office. We do not respect presidents in our country because they do what is right. But constitutionally, that position gives them the opportunity to be respected. So a man is not supposed to provide for him to be respected. And if we put the breadwinner mentality that it's a man will lose his respect despite the fact that he has been given the office of an authority. So that is what I think we should be able to pass as a message across to every couple who understand that the fact that you, the woman, you are the one providing at this moment in time, the material moment, it doesn't make the man any lesser than an authority.
Right.
He still remains an authority. He deserves his respect. He deserves his attention. But now we can also get wild when a man becomes very lazy. There's a difference when you are disadvantaged and when you are lazy. Yeah. When a man is lazy, he loses respect. The Bible says in the book of Proverbs chapter 4 that the diligent shall have rule over the poor. The diligent. That is to say, a lazy man doesn't deserve respect. Yes, it is when you are pursuing, everybody sees you are struggling, you are trying to make things work out, they are not working, it's well understood. Rather than having that at the back of your mind that your wife is working, after all, what do I work? What should I work? Such a thing will gradually make you lose your position in the house. So we are talking about this breadwinner mentality, switching roles is very, very important. Secondly, that woman is, yes, most of our women get married with the mentality that they are mothers. You are not a mother to your husband. Your mother, your husband just left a mother.
Right.
Where he was controlled. He's going to where he will control.
Right.
Yes, that's where the issue starts coming in a marriage and then lead to that deed that we don't want to hear. We
don't want to even hear about it. We will not even get there in Jesus' name. We will not get there. So most women get married with the mentality that they are mothers to their husband. You are not a mother to your husband. If you go with the mother mentality, you want to control the man like a mother. That man has just been delivered from motherhood. He's looking for a wife that he can control. True. He shouldn't get back to motherhood again that you'll be telling him, where are you? What do you want to eat? People want their peace. Men want space. Give them space. Give this man space.
You brought up a good area that I would like you to dive in deeper, as you termed it, for insecurity in any part, whether it's the women or the men.